This is how 5 random dudes recreated the Matrix in 2 weeks. Hi, I'm Ed. I'm the director at the We Try production group. We call ourselves a group because the company would make money. And we don't make money. For the past few months, me and my high school friends impulsively threw ourselves at this dream that I've had for so many years of making films. And now, that dream has become a reality. In the past 6 months, me and my best friend have made 10 short films. Along the way, a few more of our friends have joined us for this adventure. Number 1, Benji. What we've decided is that we're gonna make him the main character for this next film. Then there's Beans. Making music and shit, that's his thing. He even has a studio in his garage, which is where most of the post-production is handled. And then there's Ludo. And he's been helping me write these skits as well as handling the artistic direction. Now I'll stop boring you with all these people that worked on the film, and we'll talk about how we actually made this thing. Well, like any good project, we started brainstorming. Now Alex loves the blackboard, and to be honest, it helps out a lot.
Any ideas? I'll write down cheese.
Now we do have an outline. What we don't have is a script. That's not a problem though, because once we have an outline, ideas flow really easily. Now I could spoil the entire movie for you, but I don't want to do that because we need the retention and the views and whatever. But don't worry, it'll be available for you at the end of the video. So after I finish the script, I send it over to my team, and if we're on the same page, which we will be, we move on to phase 1, pre-production. In this specific movie, we need a waitress. Luckily, Benji knows someone who can pretend to be a waitress. Once she's been selected, Benji can memorize his lines to prepare for the shoot. Usually Alex also memorizes his lines in his own way, but he's unavailable because he needs to work. So we replaced his role with Radu. If you guys are also aspiring filmmakers, it's really important to know that getting locations like a restaurant or convenience store, it's not that difficult. It's actually quite easy. Just go in and talk to the owner, and they'll let you film whenever you want. That's what we did for this movie. We filmed at Amaranto, a Mexican restaurant here in Montreal. Anyways, we got our first location, and we started filming Monday. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, the moment that's been creaming at your pants, production. Now you may be wondering what kind of equipment we use to film our movies. Well, the camera is a Sony ZV-10, the lens is a Sigma 30mm, and our mic is this, duct taped to a PVC pipe. See, you don't need crazy equipment to make a movie. All you need is creativity. The day of our first scene, I learned that to shoot everything that was necessary, we only had 1 hour and 30 minutes. Naturally, I got quite stressed.
Let me see this.
And to deal with that, me and Ludo showed up a bit early to set up everything and make sure that we'd hit our marks whenever we needed to. And luckily for us, our good friend and main actor, Benji, came alongside his grandmother to film all the scenes where only he was the subject. Then, everyone started pulling in, including Anna, who would be playing the waitress that scene. When filming under such time pressure, it's difficult to stay calm. I have become better at managing it, but sometimes I do crash out on set. It's a bad habit, but my team is growing and taking a lot of the workload off of my back. Anyways, when we started rolling, we couldn't stop. Once we were finished, I got home and looked at the footage immediately. And honestly, for 1 hour and 30 minutes of filming, we had a lot of footage. And what I did is I started editing immediately. Once we're finished with all the restaurant scenes, we moved on to the money shots. The studio scenes. We wanted to recreate the scenes in The Matrix where they seem to be in an empty space. Luckily, my friends over at Click hooked us up with a nice studio in Montreal where we could film all our scenes for $60 an hour. To prepare myself adequately for such a scene, I needed to draw a storyboard. So you know how we only had 1 hour and 30 minutes to film 19 shots in the restaurant? Well, we needed to film 35 shots in the studio in 2 hours. Now, I made sure my storyboard was tight, and I sent it over to my friend Lauriane, who took care of the schedule. Once we got there, 20 minutes early I might add, we immediately got to work. And after 2 hours, we got all the shots. But we weren't done. We had a couple of transitions and flashback scenes to film, but we didn't have to get a location for that. So we just went about our day, and we were done at 6 p.m. I went home to edit. And editing is part of phase 3, post-production. And I was finished in 1 day, but that's merely a fraction of what's needed for post-production. We needed to do sound design and a couple VFX shots. A big factor of filmmaking is being resourceful. Everyone wants credit for the film they're making, but you need to acknowledge all the other people that helped you make that film. And that's what I'm doing today. Everyone that put effort in this film has to get recognized. And more often than not, they're talented, and you should use those talents to help your film become better. I hope this can be said about our movie. So here it is. Thank you for watching. I'm Ed, and I really hope to see you next time. Goodbye.